What the is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beers and. Today, we're going to be talking about beers and timepieces. Tick tock. You know, I always think of Hickory Dickory Dock.
Do you?
Always. That nursery rhyme is like...
With timepieces?
No, just all the time.
Oh, okay.
It's just always in my head. Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock. It's always. The clock struck one, and when it was done, oh yeah.
The entire time I've been thinking, time goes by.
Ooh,
so slowly.
good song.
Time go. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
keep thinking of.
Welcome in, all and everyone. How are you today? Welcome to another episode of Beers and. Nick and Alex here, ready to slurp down another beer and get into some timepieces.
Oh, phrasing.
Oh, we should bring back phrasing. Why are we not phrasing?
I don't know. I think we're phrasing all the time.
Let's go back to phrasing.
All right.
We are drinking from a new brewery today.
Yes,
Front
we are.
Porch Brewing. Pretty semi-local. They're out of Wallingford, Connecticut.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
So not too far. Yeah, it's still pretty fresh.
As the crow flies, it is pretty close because God knows that driving to Connecticut is the worst fucking experience.
You're right. Like I could throw
time.
a rock right now and probably hit Connecticut.
Right.
But it's going to take you
6 hours to get there.
Absolutely.
For no reason whatsoever.
We have another collaboration, but not with two breweries.
Does it feel like we're further away from everything today?
Why are we so far?
I don't know. I set it up. But.
This is Neil's French Toast Donut Double Imperial Stout.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
So apparently Neil's Donuts is a local donut shop in Wallingford where they brew out of, and that's who they've collabed with. So this is a French Toast Donut Stout.
This is going to be exciting.
I've never had a French Toast Donut.
I have had a French Toast Donut.
And?
They're actually really good.
Oh, I bet.
If they're made properly, they're very, very good.
I'm jelly.
If you want to let us know if you've ever had a French Toast Donut, or if you've never had a French Toast Donut, or if you've never had French Toast, or you've never had a donut. I don't know.
Please stop watching.
Yeah, I guess so. But make sure you go ahead and follow us over on Instagram over at Beers and Podcast, as well as on our YouTube channel at Beers and Podcast, on Twitter at Beers and One.
Yes, sir. And over on the TikTok.
On the TikTok at Beers and Podcast.
Actually, TikTok's slowly becoming one of my favorite social media sources.
I am actively like posting between for us and for the for free pitch, for Vocalize This, the voiceover production company that I have.
Free plug.
So I've been posting stuff. Mm-hmm. Have not actively actually scrolled through the rest of the. Oh, good.
I just enjoy watching our stuff.
Oh, perfect, because I did that like 3 times today, having to go ahead.
I watch them like 5 or 6 times when they come out because I'm like, oh, this is hysterical. We're so funny.
Perfect.
Why do people not like us?
Good.
So this is canned. This is another one, and we've talked about them before. Brewed and packaged by 12%. So 12% is it's not a collab. It's like I guess a big
like canning distributor
or brew house that a lot of breweries brew out of.
Oh, okay.
So like Abomination brews out of there.
Yeah.
Now we know that Front Porch brews out of there.
Nice.
There's I think Skygazer brews out of there.
I believe so.
And there's one more I'm forgetting. Maybe Branch and Blade.
We're
not familiar with.
I was gonna say I don't think that I've had any.
But yeah, I think
before.
they brew out of there. So there's a lot of breweries and a lot of hands in that.
I like that
in that kitchen.
I would also like to quickly just bring some attention.
Hector's back. Hector, why don't you say a little something for the? Oh,
it hurts. It hurts everywhere.
You're almost better. The hat's almost back. Full regale.
Yeah, he's doing all right. A lot of hot glue.
Yeah, that's okay. Hot glue makes the work go round.
When I tell you that for a second, because Nick had turned around to me, he was like, "Why don't you just get another one?" And I was like, first of all, shut your beautiful mouth, A, and B. Then, because of the fact is that I couldn't admit that was a good idea, I had to wait till he fell asleep, and then I looked up to see if I could actually find him at all.
And?
Can't find even a near replica.
I know where we might be able to find one.
Other than the interwebs?
Well, I mean, we just go
I just
traipsing back to where we got the first one.
That's true. That would be hilarious if they actually managed to replace it with another...
We'll just swap them. Even swap.
Put Hector, but do you think they would know too? They'd be like, he's returned.
Probably. Oh, I forgot this was a stout. And,
Betty! Guess who's back?
Betty, Hector's back.
She rises up out of a coma.
I could smell
I don't know why I made her in a coma, but
She's probably very healthy.
Probably.
Yeah.
Although Betty, all right, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. She's healthy.
So this is a 10%er.
Oh,
Sir. Yeah, Imperial Stout.
okay.
I'm getting notes of something, and I feel like it's like lactose, but it didn't say. Well, here's the thing. There wasn't much for this on Untapped, and there's nothing on the can.
Oh,
So I couldn't tell you if there was lactose in here or not.
I believe that this came recommended. However,
Somebody did highly recommend this.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Because I think I had another one from them and was told.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because I think they make another called Rum Ham. And I picked that up
You
originally. And
that was Front Porch.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I'm going to get into the question, but as soon as we take a sip.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
That sneaks up on you.
There is not a whiff of 10% in here.
No, not particularly.
Not even close.
No.
I know that's not what you were talking about, but like I expected to get a little boozy.
No, but there's
there was
none of that at all. It's got a really nice, it's a heavy mouthfeel, but not too much.
Very mapley.
Very maple.
Very cinnamony.
It is very clear that it is supposed to be some sort of breakfast food, either a pancake or a French toast. I feel like I'm not picking up on nearly as much of the maybe cinnamon aspect that I would like.
You know what? I feel like French toast is such a hard thing to duplicate because everyone makes it different.
So traditionally, I believe it's cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla.
Right.
And I believe that's a kind of a like the classic way of doing a French
Like
toast.
egg batter, yeah.
But what I love about this,
like this
is
a lot.
that, at least for me, on the front, all stout. All stout, traditional
All
taste.
business.
And then all business. And then there's a French toast party in the back.
Absolutely.
And I'm loving that part.
I'm really digging the maple. The maple cinnamon is like.
And you know, I'm
super
not a big
tasty.
fan of maple. Usually, I'm not a big fan of like maple
I know
syrup.
you don't like
or,
maple donuts. I didn't know you didn't like maple syrup.
No, I will opt against maple syrup a lot of times.
Do
Yeah,
you just use regular syrup?
if I believe
Pancakes?
I'm not a big pancake guy.
Waffles?
Waffles, I like to have like the strawberry jelly,
okay.
strawberry,
I'm with it.
like macerated hot. I don't know. Oh my god! But I think I just had a stroke. I like to have the strawberries on top, hot strawberries.
Yeah.
But this is
is tasty.
nice. It's got a little bit of that cinnamon toast crunch vibe to it.
That's immediately what I tasted at first. And I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, you see,
Like,
it lingered for me.
really strong on the cinnamon. Well, I mean, first sip, I was like, yep, cinnamon toast crunch. I'm digging it.
I like that.
Man, this
It's
is up there with a couple other stouts we've had recently.
Yeah, and you're right. There's none of that
No,
booziness.
I'm not getting any booze.
Not at all.
This could be like a milkshake.
We had, I believe, a beer a very, very long time ago. I believe that it was a Russian double stout.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be like a rum raisin. That's got
Ooh,
a little
I'm kind of getting
a little bit
Yeah.
of that sort of flavor there, but wow, that is impressive. It's just the right kind of kitsch. Not
It
too
is.
much.
It is. It's like very pleasantly, not over sweet.
No.
It's backed up very nicely by the the roasted malt of the stout.
It's nuanced.
Yeah, very nuanced. Before we get into a rating, question of the day, I want to know, because I'm going to talk about one. What's your favorite, like, back in time or time travel movie or TV show? Or
Oh my goodness.
do you have a favorite?
Where they would go back in time.
Or, like, it could be anything. It could be anything from, like, Back to the Future to, the Apprentice?
No.
No.
I don't know. Were they
There were two movies that came out back to back, maybe like 12 to 14 years ago. And one was The Apprentice or The Illusionist.
Oh, okay.
And the other one was it the
Wasn't it called The
is
Time
that
Traveler,
Is that
or-
what those are? Is it with the
Maybe.
Illusionist and The Apprentice?
Yeah, maybe.
I think, yeah. Okay, so whichever one it is, Time Traveler.
I can't think of anything too much off the top of my head, but I do remember like at a pretty young age watching like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and
wow, really?
loving Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and them, having everybody come back and Mozart.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah, that I remember.
I don't think I saw that like when I was older.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I definitely didn't see it as a kid.
Yeah, I definitely Morpheus. I definitely remember watching that like as a kid.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu.
Love him.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to go with that one. Although I do also really enjoy, I will say, I do love in Family Guy whenever they go back in time.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
I think it's so funny when they
There's
go
so
back.
many good ones.
It's so well done.
There's the one where they went to Germany during the war.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one?
When they go back
The one
in time
before it.
with Michelangelo and they're trying to, all you did was bring me back a candle. Like, I think that's so good. It's so well done.
Well, now that we're talking about Family Guy, every episode is great for the most part.
Yes.
The multiverse episode is the best.
The multiverse.
The one where Stewie has it's like a warper, and Brian gets a hold of it, and they start warping through all the different dimensions, and one's like...
was that when all of a sudden they all start to like pop up in the same place? There are multiple Brian and Stewies.
They went to one where there was... I think that was... Oh, yeah. They went to the one where it was like a Disney universe, and everyone was all tricked out in Disney caricature. Yep.
There's the one where they're just stuck in a barber's... I don't know what that's called. Sign or whatever.
Or the one where they go somewhere, and it's like, oh, no, this is just one where there's one man really far away waving at us. Oh, it's the Sign universe again.
The Sign universe again. That one, they do a really, really good job with that.
Season 8 got a little hairy. Or maybe it was season 9 where it was just kind of like, oh.
Well, that was in some of their like in-between stages, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they had a lot of like really heavy-hitting, weird episodes during that time. And I was like, oh, I can't watch this.
This isn't going to turn into a Family Guy podcast, but if you ever get the chance, and I'm sure that just based on that statement that you do, but for everyone else, take the time to go back and watch some of those early seasons. If you watch from 1, you'll find the point where it turns bad, and then just stop watching. Oh, I see. I was just going to say
you'll find
some of the old jokes though that like are so good and so fresh and so you can't go wrong with that.
So good.
Oh goodness.
Okay. Anyway, this is very tasty.
I have a question for you today.
Fantastic. Let's do it.
And if I'm not mistaken, this may have come from a TikTok, I think.
Oh, wonderful.
But I watched it through. It was on one of my newsletters, and it was prefaced with, "You can learn a lot about someone, or you can tell how well you know someone." If I make plans with you to meet at midday, and then call you and say, "Can we actually meet 2 hours later?" What time is it?
And you want to meet midday?
Yeah, if I said to you, let's make plans midday, and then I call you and said, we have to meet 2 hours later.
I would say roughly 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. All right.
Is that the right answer?
I mean, there is no right answer, but what they're saying, the argument was to say midday to someone does not mean like noon for everyone. Like,
it's very objective.
Midday to me is...
Early afternoon.
Yeah, I would say probably usually north of 1, so probably closer to 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting one.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
More, not right now, but
no,
more.
I've got another one.
I kind of enjoyd having being the questionee.
Right, the questionee.
Was that right? Yeah.
The inquisited.
Yes. Not. I don't want to be the inquisitor.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna give this pretty high. I don't want to give it higher than what was the. Oh man. Did we give a higher rating to the peanut butter stout or to the Vietnam stout? Do you remember?
Vietnam,
right? It was Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be higher than that because I don't enjoy this more.
No, neither do I.
I'm going to say 4.33.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'm going to go
I think it's pretty good.
4.1. I'm a little lower. It's still got that maple.
Yeah, you're not.
Syrup for
me. If you were a bigger maple guy, because that's like one of the predominating flavors.
Oh, it is.
In the front.
Oh, I would say that there's really nothing else entirely.
No.
But what's nice is, again, because of the fact that it is a double Stout. Stout's kind of got a little bit of that almost like maple flavor to it to begin with.
That's true.
So I think that we're good in that regard.
It honestly really is balanced.
Yeah.
Very balanced. Oh, it was a touch sweet. It's my one gripe.
Okay. All right.
That's all I got.
I like that.
I want to talk about stopwatches.
Go.
Okay. Not just any stopwatch.
That was the lamest fucking thing in the world. I'm upset with me.
Wah, 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 wah.
We're still not getting sound effects. He's been pushing this on me for 56 episodes.
I'm going to do it for another 56. I don't want to talk about just any kind of stopwatch. A very peculiar stopwatch. Some would say a kind of stopwatch. Debuting on October 18th, 1963, A Kind of Stopwatch was the 4th episode of the 5th season of The Twilight Zone.
Oh.
Here's the opening narration, said by none other than
I've never been so embarrassed.
Rod Sterling.
Oh,
have you never seen Twilight Zone?
Oh no, of course I've.
Oh, I was gonna say what?
Submitted for your approval.
Yes, you could have done it right there. I can't do the voice though.
Oh, I wish I could. I just have to smoke 3 packs of non-filtered Camels for the next.
Then I probably got to do like
years.
30.
Yeah, exactly.
30, yeah, or so. Okay, submitted for your approval, or at least your analysis. One Patrick Thomas Mcnulty, who, at age 41, is the biggest bore on Earth. He holds a 10-year record for the most meaningless words spewed out during a coffee break, and it's very likely that, as of this moment, he would have gone through life in precisely this manner: a dull, argumentative big mouth who sets back the art of conversation 1,000 years. I say he very likely would have, except for something that will soon happen to him, something that will considerably alter his existence and ours. Now you think about that now, because this is The Twilight Zone. Nice. So this episode revolves around Patrick McNulty, in his 40s, described as a self-important, annoying, superfluous man. Have you ever seen this episode?
I don't.
This is a classic. This is a classic.
I'm going to say yes once I hear some of the background.
Sure,
but
so McNulty is summoned by his boss during the episode. Delighted, he believes that this is due to his frequenting the suggestion box. You know, he's always trying to like, well, if we did this or we did that.
Oh boy!
Right.
Wow.
So actually, he gets fired because his boss says that he was wasting his time because a lot of his suggestions were outside of the realm of the aspects of the business.
Oh.
So we just straight up fired him. So McNulty retires to Palucci's bar, where he drives away other bar patrons with his comments about a sports game on TV. He's asked to leave, but he refuses and buys a drink for the remaining character at the bar, a drunk named Potts. So Potts is a bit of a kook, kind of. He just like says random things like old sayings from a long time ago. But he gets his drink and he decides he's going to repay McNulty with a stopwatch.
Yeah.
So he takes a stopwatch, and soon after this, he realizes that it's not ordinary. This stopwatch has the power to freeze time.
Oh, yes.
You remember? Okay.
Very vaguely, because again, I can hear like the sound effect in my head.
Yeah.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
So it freezes time for everyone except for the person wearing it. Okay. So he attempts to show his newfound power to his old boss, bless you,
Excuse me,
to explain how this could help the company. He's dismissed. You know, he can't really explain it because every time he uses it, everyone else freezes except him. So he can't really show it the right way. Again, he retires to Palucci's, tries to show the bar patrons, look at my new amazing watch. No one believes him. Can't really show it the right way. So he leaves. He gets all upset. He decides, well, I can freeze time. I'm going to go rob a bank.
Oh, okay.
So he goes to rob this bank. While attempting to rob the bank, he freezes time, but drops the watch, and the watch shatters. And it traps him. Everyone else is frozen. He's still awake while everyone is frozen. Oh. And that's pretty much how the episode ends.
Oh, man.
So I don't have the outro, but that's a great episode.
Oh, like I'm going to have to go back and watch that one.
One of the best, one of my favorites personally. Fun little fact. So as with all great things in this day and age, copycat.
Yeah.
So everyone rips it off, right? So it's been parodied. Some of the highlights are, and you might remember this because I do, there's an episode of Johnny Bravo called The Day the Earth Didn't Move Very Much, where similar fashion, there's a watch and he uses it to freeze time.
Yeah.
The Simpsons did it.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I remember The Simpsons.
2003 Treehouse of Horror. I think it was 18 or 19.
Yeah.
And also in an episode of the Garfield Show,
Oh.
they used it. And then finally in the series finale of Futurama, they used the same bit.
Yes.
I never saw the finale,
Oh yeah.
but great show. Also another great show.
Wow. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one.
Fantastic episode.
What would you do with it?
With the watch? That's tough.
If you had the knowledge of this episode, let's say.
I mean, I wouldn't go rob a bank. I would probably freeze time in order to get really good at something. Because you got to think, like, this is back in kind of like
The 60s.
It's black and white.
Yeah, it's the 60s.
So it's a while ago.
Yeah.
I would freeze time to get really good at something, so that way when I was not frozen, I'd be like a virtuoso, and then just go do it. Like freeze time and sit there and play guitar for 6 days.
Okay. Best-selling recording artist with his #1 album Thriller, Alex Chula. All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that
Great
one.
show. If you're not familiar, there's a lot of them.
Oh my God.
Pick just like and choose, because you can't pick a bad one.
Isn't that usually what's playing on New Year's Day?
In fact, it is Twilight Zone New Year's Day Marathon.
Yep.
Yep.
Highly recommend.
Yes.
Best way
So
to
you only
nurse a
have to wait
hangover.
like another 6 months.
God, already? Okay. So I started off with, first of all, 2 synonyms for timepieces, because we were discussing this earlier.
We talked about it.
Isochronon, which I think is wonderful.
I don't know why I feel like it should be pronounced isochronon.
And it's so funny because I looked up how to pronounce it because I wanted to pronounce it like differently as well.
Yeah.
Or isochronon is how it's pronounced. And I
Right.
wanted to keep saying like isochronon or something. And clepsydra, which again sounds like either a cream for an STD,
Yep.
or it sounds like something you'd be prescribed for like depression.
Also, yes.
Have you spoken to your doctor recently about clepsydra, how it may help?
Please stay tuned for this 70-item list long of side effects.
You'll feel sadder once you know what clepsydra is actually being done to you. Have you ever thought about the pandas? Clepsydra will make sure that you can only stay focused on the fact is that they won't reproduce naturally with one another and must do so in captivity.
All right, cut.
Oh, boy. The pocket watch, of course.
Oh,
That's what I was getting
it's
to.
the best one.
I love the pocket watch.
That's the best one. That is a regal accessory.
It is a very regal
that's what it is.
accessory. So the earliest known reference comes actually from a November 1462 letter
Oh, wow.
from the watchmaker Bartholomew Manfredi to the Marquese di Mantova Federico Gonzaga, where he offers him a quote-unquote pocket clock better than that of the Duke of Modena.
So he wants to one up the Duke.
Exactly. So I didn't know this, but there are 2 different styles of pocket watch. There's one that's known as a lapine or a lepine, which is an open-faced watch, or there's one that we probably know a little bit more familiar,
Flick it closed.
where it flips,
Yep.
has a metal case or a
clasp,
cover.
yep.
It's what's known as a hunter case. And the name actually comes from English fox hunters who found it convenient to be able to check the time with one hand, but still be able to hold onto the reins, like the horse's reins, with the other. Oh. So that's where that term came from. Now, more or less, and maybe it's for me, what do you most associate the pocket watch
The Monopoly guy. Even though I don't even think he's wearing one.
No, he's got the monocle. Yeah.
Is the Planters Peanut wearing a pocket watch?
Monocle as well.
Damn. You sure this isn't a monocle episode?
You're getting other chained accessories mixed up with one another. That's
No,
all
just
right.
one. Just
one. Just one.
Man, I don't know. I always think about people in like tuxedos, and right inside the jacket pocket, flip it out. It's time for my gin. Throw it back in and gin time.
Gin time begins. You can tell that we don't rehearse them because what I was aiming for here was train conductors.
Oh.
No. Okay.
Well, I wouldn't have said that, but yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let me regale you then. So in particular, again, they are very closely related with railroad conductors in the U.S. with the rise of the railroad system, particularly in the late 19th century. To So what wound up happening actually is that a really like stringent set of standards were put in place on the railroad pocket watches that were established in 1893. And this was due to a horrific accident that had happened in 1891. So on April 19th, 1891, a wreck on the Lake Shore and Michigan Southern Railway had taken place in Kipton, Ohio, because the fact is that the conductor's watch had stopped for 4 minutes, so had resulted in, again, a miscalculation of time overall. So what wound up happening was that they brought in a gentleman by the name of Webb C. Ball, or Webster Clay Ball, and he was brought in as the Chief Time Inspector, which is an official title due to his background in watchmaking. In fact, he was the first watchmaker to use time signals from the U.S. Navy Naval Observatory to bring accurate time to Cleveland once the U.S. adopted standard time.
Oh.
Well, Cleveland being like a hub of, industry in the late 1800s and whatnot.
Okay.
It was a huge.
Yeah, so why Cleveland?
That's what it was specifically known for. So his standards established a couple of different, rules for making these timepieces. So for one thing, standards included that all the watches be American made. Where else were we? They can only be open face dials. They have to have a minimum of 17 functional joules in the movement. Okay. They had to be resistant to magnetism, which is, I think, pretty impressive for the late 1800s. Yeah. The reliability of timekeeping in 5 positions. They established regular, record keeping and regular inspections. In those inspections, you can only have a maximum variation of 30 seconds per weekly check, which means only about 4 seconds per day.
Oh, wow.
This wildly improved timekeeping on the railroads. And in fact, by the time his career was over, Ball oversaw 125,000 miles of railroad across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so basically like that. And he was also the first one as a result to bring wristwatches into fashion for railway conductors as well.
So, you said his watch went out for 4 minutes and caused this giant wreck.
Yeah.
We take it for granted because
we're on because NJ Transit, you expect to at least have a 4-minute delay.
Well, like that, but also, they had to, that was how they knew where they were.
Oh, exactly.
Keep time. How fast am I going? Okay, this is where I am.
Exactly. That's
we don't think about that.
I'm sure that we've probably you and I have definitely seen it in shows. I don't know how often they maybe make this reference in shows maybe nowadays for younger people, but like that quintessential like math question of a train traveling from New York at 174 miles per hour is traveling westwards at, where will it be?
That's why they did that.
100%. And it vastly, it wildly improved train safety and railroad safety here in the U.S. and brought us to...
we have GPS. We don't have to worry about keeping time and knowing how fast we're going.
Although I do enjoy, once I know where I'm going, to not have to use the GPS.
Oh, definitely. I turn it off whenever I don't need it.
So do I.
Yeah.
I can get to and from the airport now all in one go, which I am very impressed at.
Very nice.
That's the Parkway to the Turnpike, baby.
That means you can get to me.
Pretty much. I still forget which exit is. I'm always like, is it 136, 137, or 138?
You could technically take all of them.
I know I could, but I want to know the one that's the easiest.
It's the last one.
It's the last one.
Yeah. The last one's always easiest.
Guarantee I'll probably plug it in.
I'm going to stick... You're definitely going to forget.
I know.
I'm going to stick with TV and movies.
Oh, please.
And I'm going to go to a movie that took a very unique spin on the time concept. Because, I say it all the time. Time is a man-made construct.
Mm-hmm.
Say it all the time. Have you ever seen it? This is a 2011 film. It was called In Time. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think so.
The two starring the actor and actress are Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried.
Ooh, I don't know why I can picture the two of them together.
You're really going to like... If you haven't heard of this movie, you're going to like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So In Time is set in a society where people stop aging at 25.
I mean, some of us already have.
Hey, that's us. In lieu of using a fiat currency, and you would know what that is if you went and checked out Beers and Money.
Oh, wow. That's going back a ways.
We'll wait. In lieu of a fiat currency, the future world has switched over to a time currency.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do remember this.
Okay. So time can be transferred directly from person to person just by holding out your wrist, and like I could give you a week of time if I wanted. That is how everything is paid for. Or it can be stored in capsules.
Okay.
So they're like little time capsules, essentially. After a person's 25th birthday, like I said, they stop aging, but a 1-year clock is displayed on your forearm. When that time is up, you time out and die immediately.
Oh, hi. So we ran into just a little bit of a technical difficulty. Someone called us when we were in the middle of recording, and turns out that the entire last half of this particular episode is lost. It's not a very high-budget operation that we're running. But that's okay. The audio still exists, so if you want to know how things, kind of wrap up, and I'm sure you do, I would. Hell, I forgot. Pop on over to Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Stitcher, wherever it is that you go ahead and you listen to us as well. But while you're here, you can always subscribe to us as well. Like us over on the Instagrams and the TikToks. And, hey, if you've got a MySpace, I don't know. Just came for some cheese.